It's a massive move that will dramatically change the landscape of the war in Syria, and one not many saw coming. The U.S. president tweeting out that ISIS has been defeated, and that was the only reason U.S. troops were in Syria.
We have won against ISIS. We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly. We've taken back the land, and now it's time for our troops to come back home.
But according to the U.S. government, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant is not actually defeated, a point stressed by the president's own State Department just last week.
I think it's fair to say Americans will remain on the ground after the physical defeat of the caliphate until we have the pieces in place to ensure that that defeat is enduring.
The move comes after a phone call between President Trump and President Erdogan of Turkey. He's made clear he wants to target the Kurds who have fought beside the U.S., and that is more difficult to do if U.S. troops are in his way. Just a few months ago, the president himself heralded the sacrifice the Kurds have made.
Okay. We're trying to get along very well. We do get along great with the Kurds. We're trying to help them a lot. They fought with us. They died with us. They died. We lost tens of thousands of Kurds died fighting ISIS.
Now many worry what will happen to the Kurds.
What this message sends is we don't stick with our friends. Without the Kurds and the Syrian Democratic Forces, we couldn't have beaten ISIS. We couldn't have taken back Kobani and Raqqa because we were not willing to commit all of those troops that were necessary.
Others say that shouldn't be a concern for the U.S.
First time in my lifetime we have a president with the courage to declare victory and bring the troops home.
This came as a surprise for many on Capitol Hill, some senators calling this a big mistake.
It's hard to imagine that any president would wake up and make this kind of decision with this little communication, with this little preparation.
If this decision is a withdrawal of all of our forces in Syria, now we're dramatically less safe. This is an Obama-like move.
Because now that the U.S. has withdrawn or is going to withdraw from Syria, we have basically turned the country over to Russia and to an even greater extent, Iran.
The administration and the Pentagon both released statements saying the fight against ISIL isn't over, that the U.S. is simply transitioning to the next phase of the campaign. They didn't say what that phase might look like. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.